Hello, welcome back to Let's Supreme Ghost T2X. We have arrived at mission 6, a question for knowledge. So let us load up the end of a redistribution game and watch the briefing. Why don't we?
The Hammerites. Apparently not very popular in the city, but it looks like they're the law here in Sunnyport. If there is any such thing as true law in this land of infidels. Some new group called the Mechanists seem to be running them out of the city recently, so the Hammers have retreated to some of these little out-of-the-way towns, like Sunnyport, where they appear to be thriving. These guys, however, seem to have been here for some time. I don't know or care much about these strange religions or their practices. These hammers may be just the thing to take care of my smuggler friends. They don't seem the type that would tolerate a slave trade or art smuggling in their happy little town. I tried to find a way into the rear compound, but it looks to be off limits to initiates. I'll just have to break in the front and see what I can find. I don't have a plan yet. But there's got to be some way to alert these fanatics to all the illegal activity going on under their ugly noses. If they catch sight of me, I'm dead. I get the feeling they don't tolerate visitors, especially foreign women. But I'd sure like to see them bring those heavy sledgehammers down on Kadar's murderers.
Okay, so here we are. Mission 6, break into the Hammer Temple. Find out if the Hammers are capable of aiding you in your quest for revenge. Find out the name and location of the Hammer High Priest in charge of Sunnyport. Sweep the premises for 1,300 in loot. You don't want to harm your chances for revenge. Don't kill any Hammers. Make it back out to the streets. So, this mission cannot be Supreme Ghosted, but we can Supreme Ghost, I would say, like 95% of it. It's all the way up until the very end, and I'll explain that situation when we get there. We're going to have to take a few Supreme Busts. But the rest of the mission is actually very easy. Very, very straightforward to perfect Supreme Ghost even. We should be able to get all the loot here. Unfortunately, it is a little bit of a missed opportunity, I think, this mission. This could have been a lot more. But it's probably actually my least favorite mission so far in the campaign. It's not bad, but a Hammerite cathedral / temple has been done before, both in OMs and in fan missions, and is not really done in any special way here. And when it's that easy and doesn't have anything hidden in it, there's no hidden loot or secrets or nothing, and yeah, so it's a little bit of a, like I said, missed opportunity, a little bit lackluster in some areas. It doesn't seem like they had the chance to really finish or put the finishing touches on this mission. That's just my feeling. But let's go ahead and start and see what we can do here. So, again, no need to buy anything. For Ghost and for Supreme we can't, but I don't see any reason why you should. There's a rope arrow here. There's actually not that many areas where we would even need a rope arrow in this mission. So that's even sadder. You know, but you can buy a second one, I guess. Nothing else should be necessary. Put in a real save here to begin with, and let me actually just check the audio. Yeah, the audio should be good here. That's about the volume level that I have to have it on for it not to be overpowered. Otherwise my voice gets muffled by the in-game sounds. So in terms of maps, the map will actually fill in as we go along here, as we discover the whole thing. So I'll probably end up visiting all the rooms. That'll be my goal, to sort of map. I mean, maybe I won't map everything. That is not my goal for this one, but I'll try to map as much as I can, and I will visit. You'll have to visit most of the establishment. So there's an outdoor area that we'll see first, and then it's called the Lighthouse Cathedral. So that's the whole compound. It's called a temple in the objectives, and there is a what's referred to as a sanctuary on the map, which is actually the cathedral part, is in the front here. And then the back area from here and all of this is then the priest compound. Or I guess the priest compound would be in this area, but this is the whole living quarters for both guards and acolytes and servants and the priests. There's a second floor as well that sort of mimics the layout of the bottom floor. There's an attic as well that we can get to. You cannot get to the roof or maneuver on the roof, only in like limited areas. And this is the library. The library is below everything else, so that's the lowest floor, the basement if you will. And this can also get mapped. So I'll show you and refer to the map as we find it. Okay, so the outdoor streets here look very good in Necro Age, I must say. As you guys know, when I recorded, that's the first time I see it with Necro Age. I don't play test with that. Cool. So we are to the southeast of the actual temple, which is up here. There's nothing to pick up or do really in these streets, so it's fairly empty. There's a guard up here, so we got to be a little bit careful. Okay. We need to head that way, but I'm going to go over here and show you guys some things. There's a back entrance over here, but that one I'm not going to take. One reason is we have to pick the lock on this door to do that. You can't even close this door. I can't stand that. I mean, there are other similar doors that you can prob, so I'm not really sure why this one you can't. So, another reason not to go this way. Okay. So in here, some kind of a workshop or storage, carpenter's lodge. And this one is a rope arrow. Explosive barrel, but nothing else up here. And you're supposed to leave through this way. 2 Hammerites out here. They both have cathedral keys. That's 2 of the pickpockets on this mission.
People back home. They fail to understand the misery I must
And the cathedral key works on all the main doors into the cathedral, including this one. So we could pick up one of those. And back here is another copy of the cathedral key. So there's 3 that we can get access to, and there's a readable as well that we can read. Let's just read that through the window. To whom it may concern, I'm greatly dismayed at the growing lack of hammer security at the Silver Street carriage house. I've seen shady characters lurking about with increasing frequency. Just yesterday I confronted one of them myself and inquired as to his business here in Sunnyport. He simply sneered at me and suggested that I perform certain activities with myself that I assure you are anatomically impossible. Until you investigate these individuals further, you will not be receiving my substantial monthly donation to your order. I may be reached during business hours at the Foaming Dog Grill. Good day, Mr. Kelto Talls.
Ha! By the builder.
So,
The sun is
cathedral
surely
key.
frightened away by the greed and
You
avarice
can't
of
drop
these
it.
beggarly shopkeepers.
You can't actually drop any keys in this mission, which I find a little bit strange. Normally they can use the keychain, which has been done in some fan missions, and that makes more sense that you can't drop all the keys at once. But let's see, I guess we gotta wait for him. We have to head this way. But the fact that you can't drop individual keys, I find strange. I mean, if you can't drop them, then you don't have to for Supreme, and it's not a bust not to drop them. But I would almost say then that it's a bust to pick up a key if you don't need to pick that key up. Just to make your route easier, unless there's like an extensive way around it where it's very risky to do if you don't take the key, then maybe I would understand it, but that's not the case here. A couple of pipes up here. We're now on the west side of the cathedral. It's beautiful. It looks nice. But But there's absolutely nothing to do in the streets here. Nothing at all. In here is a locked door, and it's not pickable. These manholes here, for example, it would have been nice if they had a sewer entrance into the temple. See an open door up, or window up there. Here are some crates and stuff. But nothing else. But you can enter this building. This way. This one is empty. I like the updated paintings. The paintings are identical, but they're just higher resolution. So that goes well along with the higher res textures. The reason I really like the Necrorage and the painting updates is that every single texture in the mission now has the high resolution version of it. It's not like you see some old or low resolution textures mixed in. That really looks silly. So unless the whole mission is sort of designed with a mod that completely restores it, I don't really want to follow mods if they're just partially complete. Here's our first piece of loot, a blue vase or purple vase worth 100. This is the door outside, and you can open it with a lever from the inside, but we don't need to go back out. Like, look at that. That's great. I like art, by the way, paintings especially. And the sort of Victorian era is one of my favorite eras, and I'm not an expert whatsoever, but the style that we're seeing here is my style. I'm not like a Picasso or Jackson Pollock or something like that. Not at all. We picked up a medallion here, and that was worth 75, total 175 then. We lowered the elevator, right? You gotta, for Supreme, remember you gotta reset everything, so you gotta lower elevators, close doors, lock doors, stuff like that. In this, I think, is a flash bomb. We don't need that. But if you do, there it is. So this is then our entry into the temple. You can take the front doors, you can take the side door. That's pretty much it. So there's 3 entries here. There's a guard in here. Okay, we were not heard. Just want to wait for a remark there in case. Made a lot of noise. You can't drop in here without making noise. So it doesn't say right now, but we are on the 2nd floor and we're on the west side. I'm not sure why it doesn't map that, because it should.
Never have I seen such foul weather.
And there's a guard, there's an archer that's going to come by here. And he has what's called an inner chapel key. And we do need a copy of that if we are to get all the loot, and that is prioritized. So we're going to steal that when he comes by here. We need that for this door, and we need it for one other door
I
downstairs.
fail to understand the misery I must tolerate in this wretched place. Ungrateful miscreants.
There, inner chapel key. So let's use that on this door here. Now, these keys, you might remember from Mission 2, The Trials That Shape Us, that I had some issues with the office key to Curator Limes' office, where the key disappeared. That is the case for the entire campaign, I think. Whenever you have unlocked all the doors that a key is assigned to, the key disappears from your inventory. That's probably an automatic thing in the campaign since you can't drop them. They don't want them to sort of pile up in your inventory. But I don't like that. That I don't like at all, because you can relock the doors, and that's the main problem. So there are 2 doors, and when both of those are unlocked, this inner chapel key disappears. There's a second copy of it, so you could possibly relock them. I don't know if you can. So we want to relock this one before we open the next one. If you do that, if one is always locked, then the key won't disappear for some weird reason. Empty one, I think. Yep. Let's see. Okay, so now we got mapped the west side of the second floor. Now we're in the attic. I don't think that actually gets mapped. But we're going to head up here. There's a piece of loot up here that we want. This is a pickable chest, I believe, with a with 3 broadhead arrows, I think. Yep. If I look around, I'm just admiring the textures. It just looks so awesome. Because Necro Age keeps to the original feel and makes it darker, yes, but I think that fits. In here is a journal, so we're going to read that. Note to self. Brother Horman has not yet returned my favorite hammer. What is wrong with the man? Has he no sense of decency? Why must I be forced to endure these placid cow-like simpletons? This is absurd. I shall speak with him on the morrow and expound the virtues of timely returns. Idiots. Observing the young acolytes at dinner tonight, I noticed several of them using the large forks for salad and the small forks for the main meal. Not that the food was worth eating, mind you, but why are they not being instructed in table manners? Our scholars reveal their growing incompetence by the day. Am I the only brother observant enough to notice the gaping disrepair in the western roof of the sanctuary belfries? Builder be, the rain, the sleet, the snow pour in day after day, with not a hint of concern from the priests or acolytes. I was reading up there yesterday, and fear I may now be catching an ill breath from the wind that constantly buffeted my studies. Loafers. If I have told Quartermaster Samuel once, I have told him fourscore times. I wear briefs, not boxers. Yet every week when my garments are returned, washed and pressed, I find the same baggy and chafe-inducing boxer shorts riding proudly atop the pile. Is the man really so dense? I went to have a word with him, but found his quarters locked up tight. I shall lodge a complaint within the week. Okay. In here is the guy, I guess, that... I'm not sure, is this the bell tower guy? Because there's a bell tower up here. So has a hammer. That is worth 75, and that's the only piece of loot that we really need up here. This is the bell tower itself. He's probably the bell tower expert, I'm guessing. Top of this structure is some kind of a prayer book or a psalm. Sound not a bell, lest thou would hear of it. Strike not an anvil, lest thou have a reason for it. Of the hammer, verse 4. We can climb up here to the bell. I guess you would climb up here and use the rope to gong it, or maybe do that from down there. Okay, here is a healing oil. And there is, I think this is our first copy of, or first case of a concealment potion. So I am going to reload, but I want to show you the use of that, because you might think that that's just another word for invisibility potion, but it actually is not. It's actually better than an invisibility potion, because not only does it hide you, it muffles any sounds you make. So if I take it now, I go dark and we can't hear our footsteps. So that is a great addition, I think. One of my favorite things to this game, because for Ghost, of course, you can use potions, begrudgingly, but you can use it. And it lasts, I think, for about 10-15 seconds, something like that. So that's kind of cool. No, we're not going that way. We're going back down now. Let's see, 250, yeah. Ooh. So... a lot of guards in this mission, especially because all the voices have been altered. Even though they're Hammerite voices, they've been re-recorded. Some of the guards say, huh, and it sounds like they are giving an alert, but they're not. It's just a part of their idle chatter. They never give a selling remark, and it's not when they see you. Strong is the hammer wielded in solitude. Stronger yet the hammer raised and struck for a righteous cause. Of the hammer, verse 1. Okay. Let's see, in here, still on the west side, is a plate worth 10, total 260. So this is the chapel part from above. Kind of neat. I didn't hear any alerts, but I'll go back regardless. We took the plate, yes. We're gonna head down now. And downstairs can be a little bit tricky. Sort of one of the trickier areas in the mission. We'll try to find what we can down here. One of the two patrollers down here has another copy of the inner chapel key. It's that guy right there.
Does not mean that I should
We want an urn over
Snow
here.
in Sunnyport. Bah, 'tis most assuredly fair weather in the city this day.
What was that?
What was that noise? Take that urn. It's worth 20. There's a priest up on the altar too here.
What's that?
I see over there.
Where are... there he is, okay. I can't go out then. If he's there.
By the builder, the sun is surely frightened
We have to
away by
cross
the
here.
greed and avarice of these beggars.
This is farthest away from the priest up there. And I don't think he comes in here, does he? Let's see.
Never have I seen such foul weather as in this deplorable excuse for a town.
Hammer, anvil, forge, and fire chase away the hoof and liar. Roof and doorway, block and beam.
Yeah.
Chase the trickster.
This is a statue. Artifact statue. Worth 75, total 355. So this is the other door that opens to the inner chapel key. So we haven't covered the east side upstairs. We're going to actually get there from the second floor later. But this is, like I said, what is referred to on the map as the sanctuary. So we only took 2 pieces of loot here. There's one more in this office to the east, but we went in through the door that unlocked to that chapel key. There's no way to get up into the attic, by the way, to get that piece of loot without the inner chapel key. I tried to go in through the windows, but you can't. The roof isn't. It's too slippery, slick to... There is a guard here too. Wait him out then.
I see.
Oh!
by the builder. The sun is surely frightened away by the greed and avarice of these
Seems like
beggarly
we're
shopkeepers.
hidden here, I think.
Oh.
Okay. Oh. Priest can see you through the drapes here, so be careful. We took another urn, worth 20. Total 375. Okay, I'm just gonna rush in here
What was that?
and read this psalm. And the night woman said, Give of yourself unto me. Tell none, and you shall yet receive those blessings which are yours. And so the errant hammer did lay with her, and told not his brothers, and told not his acolytes, and told not his superiors. Yet the night woman did brag and swing her arrogance like a club, to tell others of her grand catch. A hammer who did lay aside his vows. And for her arrogance and his folly, a mob did strike them down, righteous and commanding, and the builder was pleased. 5th book of the Wrath, verse 7. So this is the sermon, I guess.
Together, brother, we shall end this creature.
Hammerites are fierce. And this actually introduces my ghost challenge, which is pretty simple. Move from a safe area up onto the altar and read that sermon, and then escape again to the hiding spot that you came from. So do not come though from the library down here. Go from one of the side alleys by the stairs or this room, and then be able to go in to read that and come back for Supreme without taking any Supreme busts,
I
basically.
see something.
I think that is challenge number 43.
Chase away the hoof and lyre. Roof and doorway, block and beam. Chase the trickster from our dreams.
The sun is surely frightened away by the greed and avarice of these beggarly shopkeepers.
Closet to hide in here. I guess I'll show you this. This is one of the, I think, 4 or 5 doors out to the courtyard, which is sort of here. And that is not connected to the streets, but it's in this area. There's also a courtyard inside the priest compound. But there are several doors that lead to that location.
Oh, those people back home. They fail to understand the misery. Sunnyport, ha! By the builder. The sun is surely frightened away by the greed and avarice of these beggarly shopkeepers.
Why don't we give it a real save? Why don't we do that?
What's that I hear?
So we might need to wait to make sure that he doesn't hear our door here. Nothing in this.
My nerves are jittery.
He did see us. We're gonna have to follow
Oh,
him.
those people back home. They fail to understand the misery I must tolerate in this wretched place. Ungrateful miscreants.
So we're now moving east, and we're gonna get into an area where there's a lot of rooms. There's a kitchen, there's a barracks area here in the north, and some study rooms, things like that. Oh yeah, this is the door out, and this is the room where we took the readable from the outside.
Did I really see that?
Oh, the kitchen door is open. I forgot about that. There's no door. It's just a doorway to the kitchen, and the servant there can see you. Let's move over here. We're gonna go ahead and listen to a conversation now. That is probably.
Understand the misery.
Oh, there is a door, but it's open. Okay. We're going to listen to a conversation that probably is my favorite conversation in the whole campaign. One good thing that this mission has going for it are the conversations and the readables. And that's something that the campaign does very well overall.
I'm getting tired of this. If I have to take matters into my own hands,
But I don't normally allow anyone in my kitchen.
since when is the galley such a secret? 'Tis not as if thou are cooking up poisons and potions.
Of course not. Why would I ever want to poison anyone? It's just that many of my dishes are sensitive. I must remain focused on my creations.
Sensitive? Why, just last week I didst use your mutton loaf to pry the lid from a clogged sewage tunnel. Brother Derek is said to be using yesterday's butter roll as a doorstop in his quarters. Even the rats are demanding compensation for removing the wretched scraps from the builder's house of worship.
I've been distracted by personal problems.
Not to worry, friend. The dangers I face at thy table serve only to strengthen my faith in the healing mercies of the builder.
Okay.
One more
thing to do.
Oh, I love that.
Bedtime for me.
I love the bantering between the servants and the staff or the guards. It's just, oh, it's hilarious. Okay, let's see here. So in the kitchen itself here, you have 2 cucumbers, 3 cheeses, 2 loaves, and then there's a fire arrow in the fireplace itself. We're going to wait for him to go into the pantry, where there's more stuff.
Okay, one more thing to do and then it's bedtime for me.
So this is the mess hall right here. There are 3 gold goblets. Total 450. Nothing else, just like junk items. If we head out to, what is this, the east? Yeah. Mess hall. We come to the back entrance to the kitchen and the pantry area.
Fixing it again.
And there's a readable in here that I wanted to catch. Lazy is the farmer who tends not his crop. Unrighteous is the acolyte who tends not his tools. Service of the brotherhood. Alright. Moreover, in the pantry you have 3 cucumbers, 2 carrots, 4 apples, 3 loaves, a cheese, and 2 deer legs. Food is always good to heal. There's a certain chance that it can heal you. This is the chef's quarters. I'm not sure if that was... Yeah, that was probably Gil, the chef, right there. I imagine there's only one person that sort of is in the kitchen. So this we have to pick, because we need to go in there and take a stack of copper coins in this, and then we can read this crumpled piece of paper. Gil, tomorrow's soup will be just fine. Make sure not to overdo it. The chemical I have given you is extremely potent and will take effect within the day if mixed properly. As promised, you'll receive a handsome pay raise and a promotion as well once I have taken Bishop Cavador's place. Only keep silent until the excitement of the next few days has died down. Onum. Wow. This is interesting, and this makes sense why the chef then reacted when the Hammerite told him about poisons. Of course, the Hammerite was just joking, but Gil took that a little bit, defensively, which makes sense given the request of Brother Onum here. So Cavador and Onum obviously will be key players in this mission. We'll see that in a little bit.
I guess I'm not the only one sneaking around in this place.
I guess not, Zaya. Okay, now we are heading north. So we are now heading into an atrium area. You saw the atrium from the south just a little bit earlier. So here we can go upstairs. We're not going to head upstairs right now, but we are going to wait for this guard to go right, and then we're going to head in and take 2 artifacts in the atrium that can be quite difficult to get. There's an access point from outside where you can get them from a little bit easier.
Such foul weather as in this deplorable excuse for a town.
That was pretty perfect timing right there. Oh, that's just the other door into the mess hall. Oh, we were supposed to go in here. Two plates and I think also 3 coin stacks in here. No, 3 coin pairs. Yep. Coin pairs were worth 60, 20 each, and then the 2 plates 10 each, so that's 575. This is the training room. Combat training. We're just going to use this area to go through, basically. There's 1 guard that patrols around these training dummies. It's nice to try to visit as much of the map as we can. I know not all of you might be familiar with this campaign. In here, I think, are 8 broadheads. The other door there just led out to the hallway where that guard was encircling. And we're now up in the barracks and bath area. In the bath, all that is interesting is a water arrow in the corner. This is the latrine or the bathroom. Nice looking, but nothing of interest in here. This is the dormitories. Don't think anybody comes in here. 100% sure, but I don't think so. Okay, in here is a stack of silver coins. Total 587. And I think there is another piece of loot here. Coin pair. Total 612. Okay. My amount here is wrong on my list. I'm not sure why that is. I thought this one was worth 25. It's not. It's worth 20. Okay. Here's what it is. This takes us back out to the hallway. I think this has a bedroll, of course. The lovely bedroll. So we're not going to take that. This is the second part of the barracks. This is the locker room. And here we have Quartermaster Samuel. And that we have to pick open as well. Whoa. Okay. This one is also pickable. There is a purse in there worth 100, total 707. And here is a readable. I have remained strong. My sturdy hammer companions would not dare to complain or grumble of the stomach flu, so neither shall I. I was able to keep down a small bit of water today, the first time all day. I can't imagine where I would have contracted such a terrible sickness. Perhaps it is only the winter weather. I shall sleep for a while, and if the illness has not subsided, I will shamefully appeal for help into town for the hand of a healer. But for now, I must rest.
Well, that meal certainly didn't agree with him.
So this is not Cavador. So did he get the wrong meal? Maybe? Okay, this is another pickable chest, I think, and it has a rope arrow, which we do not need. In here, there's an EMP grenade in this one. And there is a purse, I believe, in this. That is worth, okay, that was worth 20. Total 727. And then we have a rosary bead or necklace and a healing oil here. That's it. All the other ones are empty. Okay, so now we are heading down this. We're in this section right now. So we are going to avoid triggering a conversation over here that will take place a little bit later. So this is the inner courtyard. Nobody goes through here, at least not that I know of. And this is a separate exit, I think, to the servants' quarters or something like that. It doesn't say what room this is. And I think all of these are empty, I believe. No, here's a papyrus that we can read. Dear Soren, if you do nothing else, please reconsider joining the Hammerites. We have been friends since childhood, and I cannot bear the thought of you in such a dank, foreboding place. Who knows what terrible rigors you shall be forced to endure? Who can say what horrific and degrading tests you shall encounter? You shall live a strict life, one devoid of the gentle pleasures of life. But the truth of the matter is that I love you, Soran. I wish I had told you this before you left, but I was frightened and cowardly. Now perhaps it is too late, and you may have already given your vows to their cause. Please, I beg of you, even if you wish never again to lay eyes upon me, leave the Hammerites. I hold such a fear, they shall destroy that in you which I hold most dear. With all my love, Celesta. P.S. I have informed my family I shall not marry Count Dorath, under any circumstances. I do not love the man, nor he I. Fortunately, my refusal did not upset him. And I think the other ones here are empty too. I'm going to reload because I don't want to take that papyrus. But here's another letter. Mom and Dad, you were very wrong about the hammers. In my few short weeks here in Sunnyport, I already began to realize how heretical the mechanists are. Many of the acolytes here have similar feelings. The hammer is the only true tool of the builder, and we shall soon prove it. Several of us have been assigned to recover an old artifact from a mausoleum tomorrow. The older brothers seem to shake at the mere mention of the place, but we are not afraid. I shall write again when I return, with a great story of adventure which will restore your faith in the order. Love, Brayson. So there's an expedition to the mausoleum. See, I don't think that there is anything else in that area. Check this one, right? Yeah, no. Let's see. There we're going to go a little bit later. Let's listen to that conversation.
Halt! Why dost thou wear the garment of the mainland order? Dost thou insult thy brethren by forsaking our sacred dress?
Yes, brother. Elder, sir, I've just arrived from the city, sir, and the quartermaster has taken ill, and I,
Cease thy ramblings at once, and stand straight! The builder's vessels must remain vigilant, ready both in season and out. Thy reckless disregard for thine appearance should be requited on the rack.
Yes, sir. I mean, no, sir. It's just that the order seems very different here in Sunnyport, and I haven't quite yet settled in, sir.
The order, 'tis the same, young convert. 'Tis the outward appearance which seemeth different to thine eye. There art many ways to express the builder's will, some by the hammer, others by the machine. When thou hast dwelt in our midst for the duration, thou shalt learn to judge with right judgment.
Yes, sir, brother. Sir.
Too much praise and victory. Trickster shall not step foot in his house.
So I think it's kind of cool that they actually use different outfits there, since he was commenting on the older outfits.
Cool.
Spare the hammer, rot the child.
Not sure why this is open. I didn't open that. Weird. Let's read. A master of many tools may yet be an apprentice of spiritual matters. Be mindful of thy spirit at all times, lest thou fall into disrepair. Service of the Brotherhood. And here is a gold vase. That is worth 100, total 827. So he goes around. Okay, that's what it is then. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait for him to come by. The reloading time has seemed to be fixed in this mission. I haven't had any issues in this mission for some reason. Where in the previous 2 missions at least, there was a huge wait, like a 10-15 second wait every time I reloaded. We're gonna take the
Mine services are bound to the builder. Where'er
elevator up. Here is a guard. I like the skin on this guy. He's a crossbow guard. I guess they're called arbalists. An arbalist is a guard carrying a crossbow. This texture is not updated. That's weird. We lowered the elevator and we took an urn here worth 20. So we now ascended through the elevator in the foyer, and we are arriving in the northern area on the 2nd floor. We're basically done on the 1st floor. We have like one room we didn't go to. Over here are 2 goblets. Total 877.
Hammer anvil
Worth 15
forth
each.
Fire. Chase away the hoofed lion. What did I see there? Sleeping or waking, the builder is there. Guards us his children. Trickster, beware.
See if we can do it better this time. Yeah, you see how off-putting that is? I didn't know that there were any textures in this pack that actually weren't updated. But I guess there is.
I'm getting tired of this. If I have to take matters into my own hands, they will not be so happy.
We're gonna head down that hallway later. We'll heading this way. On the second floor there's quite a few windows, so you can access some of the rooms from below. Two purple vases here, worth 50 each. Come to some kind of study or recreational room. There's a water arrow here. Some more windows out to the courtyard. And here's a fire arrow, of all things. Is there a secret here? Nope. But I guess that animation of the fire there was pretty cool. It looked very modern, so it was a little bit off-putting maybe. Here is a gold vase worth 100. This is a museum. It's a statue worth 15. Plate worth 10. And a mask worth 50. And now we arrive on the west side, right, of that arbalest.
Why are they always treating me like an invalid? I'll do that for you, brother. Allow me to take your
So
ship.
now we can move around him, head into this
Does not mean that
chamber.
I should be coddled.
High Priest Cavador. And reading that plaque actually checks off the objective of finding the name and location of the Hammer High Priest. So that's Cavador. Now, if you remember from Thief 2, you are kidnapping Cavador, and he's a mechanist at that time, so logical that it will be the same person, right? So he's not a mechanist yet. So that sort of proves to me that the story here overlaps a little bit with the events in Thief 2.
Fell a trickster to a mighty foe, and didst return the builder to much praise and victory. The trickster shall not step foot in his house again.
So this door we have to pick. Okay. So here we have High Priest Cavador's office then. Here is a key. We'll read this first. "'Tis now nearly 5 years since the eradication of the filthy smugglers, and that only by the builder's might. But often I wonder to what end? Where one form of extortion and theft has been cut out, another is grown atop it, as a scab upon an infected wound. Alas, our order lacks its former strength to stop these evil merchants, their fleecing of innocents, by cheap wares and deceitful sales tactics. I've received word from my superiors in the city that the mechanist threat has reached alarming proportions. Our order is now tasked with retrieving the orb of St. Basmus from its resting place. I can imagine not of what use the orb will be. Basmus was but an old crank, practically a heretic if the tales are true. 'Tis no wonder he was buried so far and away from the sacred burial sites in the city. I both doubt and fear the powers of the orb, so I shall consider this in due time. Sending good men into that evil mausoleum is the last thing I desire upon my conscience. Upon further reflection, I am troubled that our order finds itself in such a dire position as to depend on ancient relics and charms such as this orb. What has become of the once proud tradition of the hammers? I believe it is slowly crumbling, weakened by those within who refuse to explore new means by which we may serve the builder. I dare not share these thoughts with my brothers, but write them here, if only to relieve their continual pressing on my soul. I have thought to give ear to the mechanist doctrines, but I fear that this is a path destined to apostasy. Perhaps I might obtain some of their writings to examine firsthand." Okay, so here is the hint then, that he is slightly interested in the mechanists. He's certainly not opposed to them. And that's probably why he is getting other people's opposition to his high priest position. You know, Onem, if you remember, we read, is trying to poison Cavador. Is it possible that my old phobias have returned? So long have I been able to work, unmolested by the fears of contamination that once besieged me. But just this afternoon, as I began to eat, that familiar dread came upon me, and I was unable to take a single bite. Cook Gill had created a special dish for me, so I regretted to push it away. I was relieved a bit in that Quartermaster Samuel sat nearby, and was more than happy to take my portion. That explains Samuel's dire condition. Possibly this business with the orb and my recent spiritual struggles have rekindled my anxieties concerning food and environment. Onam has been acting strangely these past few days. Does he perhaps know of my malcontentedness? Does he suspect that within these very walls I have brought the writings of Keras to study? His doubts concerning my leadership are no secret to me, but lately he seems to follow my every move as a predator of sorts. I loathe the paranoia of these men. Quartermaster Samuel has been locked in his quarters for 3 days now. The man is usually dependable, but perhaps Onam has turned him against me, as well, and he is simply avoiding me. The city brethren inquire us as to my delay in recovering the orb from the mausoleum. I have selected Brother Onam to lead a retrieval party. With Onam gone, I will be free to make inquiries around the compound to see if he suspects anything. I have asked Brother Arifax to pull the copies of our old maps from the library, along with any pertinent information about the artifacts stored in the mausoleum. Arifax hath been locked away with his books for too long, and have fear for his sanity. However, he is full able to provide any information Onam will need to recover the orb. May the builder make him swift. Interesting. So we now checked off find out if the hammers are capable of aiding us, and we got a new one. You may be able to beat Onam to the orb. Search the basement library for a map that will lead you to the St. Basmus burial site in the mausoleum. So this is the library key, which also we cannot drop back, and that we will need to complete our last objective. Over here is a bottle of wine and a gold goblet, and then there's also a pair of glasses in here. Total 1277. Now we want to head back through these rooms in order to not get spotted. There's hardly anything going on the second floor in terms of guards. I think we still need to give it a real save though. This is the bathroom, nothing in there. Greenhouse of cultivated plants. Interesting. There should be 2 moss arrows in here. One here. There's one in the other flower bed. Sate thy appetite on healthful things, and thou shalt grow tall and strong as an oak, ready to be used for great ends by the works of the builder. Of the Hammer, verse 11. One over here too. Okay, in this room there's a statue worth 15. And a vase worth 100, total 1392. That meets the loot objective of 1300. Okay, we need to head into that room, and there's another room over there that we haven't been to. We've sort of gone around here a little bit. So we haven't been to either of the classes here, Class A and Class B. Why is this guy not moving?
Snow and sunny.
Is he stuck?
Bah. 'Tis
This is very, very odd.
What was that I heard?
Seems like he is stuck, just standing there in the middle of the middle of the hall. He will probably react to this door.
What's that I hear?
Yeah, he will.
Sunnyport, ha! By the builder, the sun is surely frightened away by the greed and avarice of these beggarly shopkeepers.
That kind of sucks if he's stuck there. He is certainly not supposed to be stationed there. Let me see if I can... That won't help. Okay. Well, there's nobody that goes into that room, so we can't use anybody's patrol either to get that door open. So that does kind of suck, because we need to take an extra Supreme Bust here. But luckily this mission can't be Supreme Ghosted.
What's that I hear?
This is not a room that you can get into any other way either. Flash bomb, ring. And these glasses you can take as well. So we got a first alert there.
Something's not right.
Oh, come on.
Oh, those people back home.
Something is a...
Yeah. Let's see if we can try to push him and get him to go and get going. He is definitely not supposed to be stationed here. He's right on the corner of that rug there. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with anything, but he doesn't budge at all here.
Snow in Sunnyport? Bah! 'Tis most assuredly fair weather in the city this day.
He is supposed to be patrolling around here.
People back home. I fail to understand the misery I must tolerate in this wretched place. Grateful miscreants. Oh, those people back home. They fail to understand the misery I must tolerate in this wretched place. Ungrateful miscreants.
Yeah, I don't think so. And we can't go all the way back here. That'll be way too much. Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna head upstairs and see if he's there.
Hey, did you guys see that? Something is awry here.
There, I have thee now.
No. See, now he's not here. It's not supposed to be there. So be it.
What was that I heard?
If this mission had been possible to perfect Supreme Ghost or something, then I totally would have redone that, but I'm not going to do it just for one little bust.
I'm not here.
Oh my goodness, why do I keep moving there?
Back home. I fail to understand the misery I must tolerate in this wretched place. Ungrateful miscreants.
So we're going to end up taking 2 more busts, so it'll be 3 instead of 2.
Snow in Sunnyport.
My segmented run should not
'Tis
have
most
this
assuredly
one, so
fair
anyway.
weather in the city this day.
I'm just going to show you a readable in here. Set aside thy selfish quests and foul deeds. Bring forth not spoiled fruit or mines. Instead raise thy gauntleted fists. Focus thy energies to tasks not wasted on the transient sins of the flesh. First Book of the Wrath, verse 3. Let's see. Oh, no, now now I saved it. Come on. That was my mistake. No. Taking anything here. So now I gotta redo that anyway. Okay. Ugh.
Oh, those people back home.
Stay here. Was that a sound?
Can't have him hearing me.
Oh, this terrible cold. Curse the trickster.
What was that I heard?
It's just annoying that he stopped so close to a door that we just have to open to get all the loot. You know, we could have stopped anywhere else, and there's probably so many ways of getting around him. Anyway.
Never have I seen such foul weather as in this deplorable excuse for a town.
Okay, so in here there is a gold vase. There are actually some secret passageways around that I'll show you guys. It's primarily in the southeast area of this floor. Let me just check to see if I am where I'm supposed to be here. 1642. Yes. In here is a pickable chest. It has a bottle of wine in it. 1692, and there's a readable. Dear Brother Vesnan, it is as you said, this town is filthy with tourists, though much less so at this time of year, for the place is foggy and rainy. I had hoped to find some respite away from the politics of Mechanists versus Hammerites, but alas, it strikes forth even here. I swear I saw Brother Orek, the traitor, wandering the streets, though he was not in his Hammerite attire. Perhaps he came seeking vacation. I followed him a ways, but he disappeared off into a clothing store. Just a second. Regardless, I hope things are well with you. I wish to thank you for the gentle warning you gave me of the supposed sunny port, and appreciate the guidance of which I did not take heed. I shall be certain to send you a bottle of our best ale, since I know you like to keep some for long nights at study. That, at least, is something they do well here. Sincerely, Brother Horman. Another... Oh, this is the same guy that we just...
What was that?
Oh. Come on. So we're now moving into the southeast bedrooms here. I'm going to hit all of these. This is another one we have to pick. Stack of copper coins worth 5, total 1697. There's no readables in here. No loot in here, but there's a readable. Brother Vorbis. Hath Bookmaster Arafax been taken by the trickster's demons? I called upon him 2 days past for assistance with a reading assignment from our epistemological hermetology course. He foisted upon me 2 entire volumes dealing with soteriological ecclesialism and non-modelistic ecclesialism at that. Has the man completely lost all sense of reason? He then proceeded to ramble on about the merits of reformed eschatological revisionism in full hearing of all in the library. When I admonished him that our order holds strictly to revised eschatological progressivism, he angrily began listing every breakfast food he's eaten in the last 2 weeks. I urge you to speak with him, and recommend a formal inquiry into his doctrinal fortitude. Brother Numrod. I have no clue what I just read, but there we go. I think that was the point.
Did I see some?
You did see something. You did indeed. Now we are headed into Brother Onam, or actually Bishop Onam. So there are 2 doors into his room. Both of them are pickable. In the south and the northwest, we obviously don't need the other entrance. 2 stacks of silver coins, and then a readable journal. That idiot Gil. Has the man ever poisoned anyone before? It was to be a simple task, yet Cavador walks around as if in the health of youth. Either Gil has bumbled the job, or Cavador is truly protected by the builder himself. The later is hardly likely, considering his lackluster sermons as of late. This is a most curious turn of events. It seems as if the poison has only served to strengthen Cavador. I caught him returning to the compound tonight without any heavy clothing, but he seemed unaffected by the chilling wind. I can't think where he would go in this weather without his overjacket, but I suspect it had little to do with the builder's business. He claimed to have been retrieving books from the library, but when I asked him to show me what volumes he hath received, he scoffed and hurried on his way. The man grows more apathetic in his convictions as the days go by. It is by the builder's mercy that he will die soon, lest he receive a greater punishment for his continued complacency. Cavador is still in prime health, and has assigned me to retrieve the orb of St. Basmus from the mausoleum. He claims the leadership in the city has commanded it, but I'm certain this is a plot to get rid of me. He has undoubtedly discovered my conspiracy with Gil, and has planned some sort of ambush. I must be ever vigilant. He has assigned some of the new initiates to accompany me, but I am unsure as to their true spiritual state. Is it possible that Cavador has already corrupted them? This is extremely unfortunate. It is madness to send me, a bishop, into this undead territory with only novices at my side. The city shall hear of this upon my return. If I cannot clear him out of the way, perhaps the order of the city will do it for me when they hear of this recklessness. Okay. And another readable. Bishop Onam, please remind the other priests that there are to be no acolytes in the rear compound. The initiates must gain a clear understanding of our hierarchy, and permitting them to enter areas intended for the high-ranking members of the Order will not accomplish this task. They are too young and reckless to gain a balanced understanding of the creature comforts and pleasure that the older members enjoy in the compound. At the proper time, they will be given admittance, but not until. All violators will be punished severely, both the initiate and the priest from whom he obtained passage into the compound. High Priest Cavador. Then there is a statue here as well, worth 15, total 1736. So here is one of those entrances to the passageways. But they're only on this floor. They do access it. No. Okay.
Oof.
I didn't actually know that it went down there. That is interesting. Okay. Then we will map it and see. So it goes down to the mess hall.
Who maketh such sounds as to disturb the builder's children at this hour?
Yeah.
Linger in the shadows. I shall find thee soon enough.
So this is to the foyer. I think there's 2 or 3 of them. That goes to the foyer. Or the atrium, rather. Yeah, there are entrances to various floors here. I didn't know that. That is kind of cool. That actually is the first time I found that. I didn't map this out fully because I didn't feel the need to use any of this. And then we come up just down the hall. So there's 2 areas downstairs where you can reach using that little passageway system. Head into here. And here is, oh yeah, a rope arrow. We don't need that. Did I close everything here? I did. And this study is a ring. Let's wait for him to pass. That ring is worth 100, total 1836. I think this room actually is empty.
Oh, this terrible cold.
Yeah. That's the other door to that room. We're gonna head in here. 2 stacks of copper coins in here. This is empty. And this actually takes us out to the sanctuary, to the northeast. So now we can access that. We can take the 2 pieces of loot in here. There's a plate worth 10. And there is a statue over here. Worth 15. Total 1871. That's all the loot that is not in the library.
Spare the hammer.
Sonny
Rot
Lord.
the child.
By the builder, the son is surely frightened away by the greed and avarice of these beggarly shopkeepers.
So we're actually going to head out now because we just need to go to the library. We've done everything. drop down
and
there.
the greed and avarice of these beggarly shopkeepers.
They can't see us.
Didst return the builder to much praise and victory. The trickster shall not step foot in his house again.
Gonna head in through the foyer again. There's a patroller here. So now we went down from this room on the second floor, dropped, went across the courtyard into the foyer, and then we can hit this little area that we haven't done yet. Because we're heading into the library now anyway. We're almost done. We're basically just having to hit the library and then leave.
Spare the hammer, rot the child.
Empty factory room. And then this is a room we haven't seen. Another workshop area. In this you have 3 broadhead arrows. We have to wait for this guard to come by again. Okay, so if we go out here, we now come to the opposite side of the courtyard. To the western side. And we can access the library from this end. Library of the Builder's Tomes. There we go. Okay. Let me give it another readable save here. And I'm not sure, there's one guy in a study right there. But it's the other guy that I'm more worried about. Let's go through here. He doesn't come in here. So we're now on the southern end. This takes us up to the sanctuary. Statue here, worth 15, and then there's 2 other pieces of loot. There is, I think that's Arifax in there. He was the one who had gone a little crazy. Take those 2 pieces of loot. 1986, that's max loot. So we took a statue and 2 gold candlesticks. Now, let me explain this area here, because this is the final room. We haven't taken any supreme busts that we couldn't have avoided
Oh, this
yet.
terrible cold.
So this is Arifax, the other guy, I don't know who that is. I think Onam already has left for the expedition, because I think the readables are from a few days ago, and the briefing for the next mission is going to explain that a little bit further too. Now, the door on the other side there is locked. Okay, this is open, but if we go in there, we get lit up right away and he will catch us. What we need is that readable on the desk there. That's the mausoleum maps. But there's no way we can get in through that door without getting a full-on second level alert. Absolutely no way. This button here will open that door from the inside, and we can close that door. We need to close that door manually again afterwards. There's also a light switch on the inside on that end. That's the only door that we can enter because we have to turn the lights off. There's no way we can get to that readable without the lights off. So we unfortunately have to open this. Well, that isn't a bust, but as we're going to see, closing the door is actually a bust, because he will alert to that. Okay. we need to go back,
Hammer
basically.
anvil, forge and
And I
fire.
want to go that way.
Chase away roof and
Good.
line, roof and doorway, block and beam. Chase the trickster from our dreams.
Now, Arifax has a monologue that starts as soon as you enter the room. So we're going to have to listen to that.
Thought I saw.
Oh, he saw me. Okay.
Spare the hammer, rot the child.
So we have to turn off the lights, unfortunately. You can see how brightly lit this room is. There's no way to get around him. Let's do that. And now we're going to listen to his monologue and see how that goes.
As gibberish goes, I'll have the funny men know it's been worse than this. It's very, very bad. Oh, so many relics, so little room. What? Dead men won't do the trick. Take it from me. I'll never suspect the scepter would even fit up there. And, oh, it'll come down to cost. Cost, always cost. Quality versus quantity of organs, I've always said. I didn't need that anyway. But not enough religion to keep the undead dead. Not alive to be walking around like there's a party. That's not dead to me. But what do I know?
Does not mean that
Just
I
a
should be
stupid
caught.
bookman. No. Books aren't stupid. The stupid man isn't a book either. Well, I'll tell you that much. No, the orb of St. Basmus. Now there's a prize not to be locked away. They'll be regretting that one, believe you me. And I knew they'd need it eventually. It's just history repeating itself, going round and round and round. But nevertheless, here you are. I knew they'd send someone capable to get it. Take the map to guide you. But beware the creepy crawlies. They're not ones for leaving well enough alone. It's not like I didn't tell them, but I'm just the bookman. Never been anywhere, seen anything. Pay me and send me home, that's what I say. Pay me and send me home. Don't know why I bother to show up every day. Unappreciated.
There. Now he finished that. So he's just a bookman. So if he was the bishop Onam, then obviously he would have said something else than bookman. So I think this is Arifax. And he sounds crazy, and the readable said that he had gone crazy too from overstudying. So, mausoleum map. I don't think it shows up in our maps yet. No. But that is the final piece to the puzzle here. We're going to read this other thing too. Brother Onam, at the request of our beloved brother Cavador, I have collected some information on the artifacts stored in the mausoleum so long ago. Following is a list with a bit of background which should be most helpful. Be mindful of the wills of your young acolytes, as most of these items are heretical in nature. Apparently our forebears buried these brothers and their possessions far away from the city for just this reason. The orb of St. Basmus. St. Basmus was considered a brilliant mind among the Hammerite order of the city in his earlier years. A master of theological epistemology and eschatology, he shaped much of the thinking of the prophets of his generation. Basmus regrettably began a slow decline in his latter years, when he began having visions of steam-powered machinery in an orb of unknown origin, and reading the works of St. Brown heavily. This prompted much discussion among the younger brethren of his day regarding the traditional way of the hammer versus a new and broader way involving cogs, gears, etc. Basmus was generally tolerated from this point forward by his peers and eventually buried in the old mausoleum as a symbol of the city's order, unease with his visions. Of the city order's unease with his vision, okay. You should find the aforementioned orb entombed with his remains. There is no information regarding function of the orb or its use by anyone else. The Urn of Crispus. This golden urn contains the remains of Basmus' disciple brother Crispus. Crispus was incinerated in a mishap involving his own experimentation with a steam-powered cooking apparatus based on Basmus' own plans. The Crystal of Fire. Kept for some time as a charm in the small chapel in South Quarter until it was discovered to be of pagan origin. It should have been destroyed long ago, but was donated by a rather benevolent supporter of the chapel, and so was stored with these other questionable items. The Urns of Pendleton. Pendleton had no interaction with Basmus, but was well known in his time for fostering the acceptance of modern art within the Hammerite Order and its structures. Through Pendleton, though Pendleton probably died at a young age, he himself was known among the Order as a master painter, sculptor, and potter. Upon further reflection, the leadership of his day maligned these pursuits as frivolous and had his corpse exhumed and removed to the mausoleum along with two of his much imitated urns that guarded his previous burial site in the city. One small craft center remains today in the market district of the city, if only for its lucrative income. This, along with the urns, is all that remain of his legacy. The icon of St. Kendall, a small statue used in the bludgeoning murder of St. Kendall. Kendall himself is buried in the mausoleum along with this small likeness. I hope these notes will assist you, and again, I apologize for my delay in retrieving this information for you.
I'm getting tired of this. If I have to take
Okay.
matters into my own hands,
Then we have to leave.
not to be so.
We have to turn the lights back on for Supreme. When we close the door, he is going to alert.
Is that a noise?
Yeah. Also an Evolve. Of course, you can just not close the door, but that's also a Supreme bust. I prefer closing the door and taking the first alert. First alerts, after all, are dismissed as being nothing.
Be chase the trickster from our dreams.
Leaving a door open is a little bit more
What was that?
against Supreme rules, I guess. Wait, what? Oh yeah.
Praise and victory. The trickster shall not step foot in his house again. Thought I saw some.
You saw me from way back there.
Mine services are bound to the builder. Where'er he should maketh me stand. Time shall unravel, but yea, the builder remain true. Prepared! The builder smiles upon me.
Did he hear me? I couldn't tell if he heard me, so I'm gonna... No, he didn't hear that. So we now went up the other exit.
What's that?
So we cannot go now. We are basically just going to leave through the hole that we came in through. And that can be a little bit tough because we have to find a gap here. It's very loud down here, but... So in the ghost challenge, you cannot come from this area because this is very easy.
Something's not right.
Let's see.
Oh, those people back home.
Yeah, they'll see me there. Gotta wait for that. Things might open up right now, so... Where is he going now? Is he coming back up the middle here too? Okay.
Twas nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, he sees me. He sees me go down there pretty quickly. Okay, last stretch, but we have to wait more. We just have to find an opening here and get out.
Sunnyport, ha! By the builder. The sun is surely frightened away by the greed and avarice of these beggarly shopkeepers.
Spare the hammer,
Sleeping
rot the child.
Guards us his children. Trickster beware.
Never have I seen such foul weather as in this deplorable
Can we maybe follow this guy down now? I think so. Hope so.
Sunnyport, ha!
I'm getting
By the
tired of
builder.
this. If I
The
have
sun
to
is
take
surely
matters into
frightened
my own
away by the
hands.
greed and avarice of these beggarly shopkeepers.
There we go.
Perhaps I've been... Nothing seems to disturb the builder's peace now. Sunnyport, ha! By the builder.
And didst return
The sun
the
is
builder
surely
to much
frightened away by
praise
the
and
greed
victory.
and avarice of
The
these
trickster shall
beggarly
not step foot in
shopkeepers.
his house again.
There we go. Good. So that was a successful perfect thief, at least, of a question of knowledge, mission 6. We busted Supreme in 3 different areas. First, there was a stuck guard in the hallway on the 2nd floor that we had to get a first alert from if you wanted the 2 pieces of loot in the observatory, and that we wanted to. We also took 2 busts from Aerofax in the library study, where we had to shut off the lights to get into that room, turn the lights back on, and we also took a first alert when the door closed. So those 2 last busts there are inevitable for Supreme. Total time, 49 minutes, 35 seconds, 1986 out of 1986, 1 out of 4 pickpockets, 7 locks picked, no backstabs or knockouts, no damage, tell taken or healing taken, nothing and nobody killed, no Iron Beast destroyed or disabled, and there are no secrets. Campaign totals time so far 3 hours, 32 minutes and 43 seconds. Loot so far 72.91, no damage dealt or received. So we are now going down to the Mausoleum in the next T2X mission, but we are going to go back to Blackmail in Thief 2 first. So join me back for that. In the meantime, stay safe. Have a good night. Bye-bye.